In this video, I'm going to go over some Mac keyboard shortcuts. These aren't your common and ordinary keyboard shortcuts. Let's get into it. macOS has a lot of built-in keyboard shortcuts to help you get things done quicker. They help you be more productive by getting things done with less steps. A lot of these shortcuts are intended for you to use your mouse less and keep your hands on your keyboard. Why is this more productive? Remember, the keyboard is always faster than the mouse. Now, I'm not going to go over some of the basic keyboard shortcuts that I think you should know, such as cut, copy, and paste. I hope you're not using the mouse to cut, copy, and paste, or switching between applications using Command Tab. But if you really want to find out some of these basic shortcuts, or some of the shortcuts of a given application, you can usually find them in the menu. Usually in the menu here, there's something on the side here that's grayed out. So in Finder, you see how it says Command N for a new Finder window. And then in Edit, it's usually universal. The cut, copy, and paste are these commands right here. So you can usually find all the shortcut keyboard commands usually in the menu bar. Now the shortcuts I'm about to show you are either all keyboard only or a combination of a keyboard and a click. Now I mentioned about switching between applications using the Command Tab key, which you should already know. Now I have my on-screen keyboard here to show you what I'm pressing on my keyboard, but if I go Command Tab, and if I keep the Command key pressed down, I'll keep the application switcher open, right? So if I want to go to different applications, now I just have to keep on tabbing through. Now another way to select an application is using a combination of Command Tab and your mouse click. So now I have the application window open here, but let's say I want to go to text edit here, and I could just use my mouse and just go over to text edit and click on the icon, and it brings up that window or application. Now if I want to switch between different windows within an application, so I have 3 different text edit windows here, I can do something similar to Command Tab, is the Command tilde, which is right above the Tab key here. So if I go Command tilde, it switches between those applications. Now if I want to hide these windows, I can go Command H to hide them. If you want to minimize an individual window, you can do Command M to minimize it as well. Another thing you can do with the application switcher is to quickly quit applications. Let's say I have a number of applications open, which I do here, and I don't want to go into each individual application and quit them. That'll take a little bit of time, right? So I can just use Command Tab, go to the individual application and hit Q to quit the application. So let's say I want to close Messages here. I want to close Spotify and Safari. So I can go to Messages, hit Q. That'll close that, and then I can tab right to Spotify, hit Q, Safari, hit Q, and that closes all the applications very quickly without going into each individual one. These next set of shortcuts assume that you have a Mac keyboard with the media keys. So for example, I have a keyboard here with the display brightness controls, right? I have the volume controls here, right? Speaking of the volume controls, you can change, of course, the volume up and down through these 2 keys. But sometimes you want to adjust the volume very, more detailed than that. And you want to go smaller increments. There's a way to do that. You can do Shift Option, and then if you do the volume control, now you see it's going down by 1/4 of a stop now. If I didn't have the Option Shift key on, it goes by a full step there. Now if I do it again, it goes by 1/4 step. This is really good if you want to turn the volume down, but not all the way down. But sometimes the lowest volume level is not just low enough. So now I can go even more, 2 or 3 more steps after that. Staying with the subject of sound or volume control, let's say I want to go into the sound system preferences. Now, if I was doing this all with the mouse, I would go here to the Apple menu, go to System Preferences, then I would need to know where the sound icon is. It's right there. And now I'm in Sound System Preferences. But there's a way to get to there with just using a keyboard shortcut. This has to do with the Option key. Now, the Option key will be the main subject for these next couple of shortcuts here. But if I do Option and either volume up, volume down, or mute, this will bring up the sound preferences right away. Now, the same can be done with the display preferences. Let's go to Option and then either brightness up or down. Display brightness up or down. This brings me right to the display preferences. Now this works the same way with mission control here. And then I can go back to display preferences right away, or the sound preferences right away. Now the other thing that if you have a Mac laptop is if you have the backlit keyboard controls, which is usually here on F5 and F6, if you do Option and then that backlit brightness up or down, that'll take you right to the keyboard preferences as well. Now these last set of keyboard shortcuts has to do still with the Option key here, but also has to do with the menu bar up here. Now a lot of these menu bar items like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, sound, they give you some very basic kind of information. But let's say I want to know more information about the Wi-Fi network I'm on. So I'm going to hold down the Option key and click on the Wi-Fi bar, and it shows me a lot more information here. It shows me my IP address, my router address, and the signal strength here, right? So if I go into Bluetooth here, it shows me a lot more information than I had before. And same with the sound preferences here, or sound information here. Right now it only shows me the output, or the speakers that the sound is coming out of. But let's say I want to know the input. So I hold down the Option key here, click on the sound icon, and I get a lot more information here. The other thing I recently discovered was there's a quick way to get into Do Not Disturb mode. Right now I have it on. Let me turn it off. But the way I can get into Do Not Disturb mode, usually I have to go into Control Center here and then turn on Do Not Disturb here, right? You can see the Do Not Disturb icon is grayed out right now. The quick and one-click way to do it is hold down the Option key and then click on the date and time here in the top right corner. And then I'm automatically in Do Not Disturb mode now. Now these are just a few of the kind of hidden keyboard shortcuts that aren't really commonly known, but very useful. Let me know some of the keyboard shortcuts that are kind of hidden or that you use on a daily basis. Leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, give it a like and consider subscribing. Until the next one, see ya.